Well, first of all, since like I'm with the Danish Players Union and help all the applicants apply for the program. So I've been cooperating with FIFPRO on it. But also I've actually done the sport management degree myself, a bachelor degree in sport management online. So the program is organized 100% online. So that at no point do you have to actually go to the university. Everything like exams is arranged online, group work is done online, and obviously, as such, it's a program where you, if you apply for it, you'll be with a lot of other internationals, also football players and various athletes around Europe mainly. So
it's not only footballers.
Mainly footballers, but there can also be athletes from other sports as well.
Right.
And then, well, basically, like we call it, we use the term sport management degree as if it was one program. Actually, it's two programs. Okay. First off, there's a program called the Service, Hospitality and Tourism Management, which is a nice and short name. And basically that's, it's like a broader, you start out with, it's a 2-year program, yeah, where the focus, the specialization within that program is sport and event management. So basically it's an education where you like within the service, sport, event management. So it's like a broad business degree with a focus on the sport and event part. And then afterwards you can apply for a top-up program, which is a 1.5-year program just called sport management, which will focus even further on the sport management part.
Right.
You contact your local players union. I don't know if you are the specific contact for the players.
Yeah, the players can contact me in Sweden, yeah.
Right. To kind of say that you're interested in applying for the program, where then I guess you would do the initial like short screening and just make sure that that the player in question is actually motivated to do the program and fulfills initially, as you can see it anyways, yeah, the main requirements, because the requirements to get into the program is that you have completed secondary school, so that you have like a high school degree, right?
Yeah.
And other than that, basically that you need to have had English on similar to the Danish B level. I'm assuming it's probably also called B level in Sweden.
Right. I think it's 2 years. Yeah. Secondary school. So for gymnasia. Yes.
Right. And that you have math on one level, at least one level lower. We call it C level. I don't know if your lowest level in high school is A level.
We go the other way, yeah, A. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Right. So that you've had math on A level in Sweden, and that's basically it. So if you fulfill those requirements, you can apply for the program. You don't pay tuition fee. The only costs is like there's an initial admission fee of 600 euro, right, that you basically pay before you apply. So basically you would forward the payment information to the player, player would pay the fee, and then you would forward the contact information to me, and then I would get in touch with the player and help with the application process. Right. And obviously this fee, should the person not be accepted, they would have it all refunded. Also, if they are accepted and start the program, 300, like half of it will be refunded, given that he or she finishes the first semester.
Okay.
And then if that's the case, basically the only fee at the end of the day is going to be the €300, which are some management costs of running this program. And other than that, it's only the cost of the books. You'll obviously need your secondary school certificates, your leaving certificates, showing an overview of all the subjects you've had and the grades. Also, you will need, it's not mandatory, but it's like very recommended. There is what is called a recommendation form, which I'm gonna obviously gonna send out. But it's basically a form where you would have to contact your secondary school gymnasium, and have them fill in, like basically document, even though your diploma says that you've had English on a B level. What the university learned or experienced some years ago is that there's a very big difference from from country to country, and also even from from one high school to another, how many hours that actually includes of lectures, which meant that they unfortunately experienced that some people, even though on paper they fulfilled the requirements, their English level really wasn't suited for a higher education in English.
Right.
So what they highly recommend, which will increase your chances of getting a spot, is that you have a verification form that the high school fills in, where basically they document that the number of lecture hours you've had in English and math. And then they sign it and send it back, and then you can include it in the application. So that's one of the more circumstantial parts of the application. But basically, if you have your high school certificates and fill in the verification form, and obviously you'll need to write a motivational letter, kind of like telling a bit about yourself and the reason why you're applying for this program and so on.
Yeah.
That's basically it, because at the end of the day, what you want to do is that you want to sell yourself as best possible, because unfortunately there's a limited number of spots in the program. Previously there was an unlimited number, so if you fulfill the requirements you would get a spot, but now you could, if there's more suited candidates than there are spots in the program, you could potentially end up competing with other applicants. So it's important that you're thorough in the application process and sell yourself as best possible. The application deadline is March 15th. That, like, on March 15th at noon, as it stands now anyways, that's the deadline where if you haven't applied by then and included everything you need to include, then it's basically too late, which is also why it's important to start the application process as soon as possible, so there's time to actually acquire all these documents. But yeah, that's the application deadline, which corresponds with the quota 2 deadline we have in Denmark for, well, basically the quota 2, I don't know if it's the same in Sweden, but it's usually for applicants if they don't necessarily 100% fulfill the requirements for an education, they can apply through quota 2, where they can basically if they apply based off of other skills or similar skills to what is required or something like that.
Yeah.
As I said initially, like, the sport management degree is basically like a business degree, just with a focus on the sport and event field. So it's broad in the sense that whether you want to work, maybe you have an idea that you want to work within the sports industry, doing sponsor work, or you want to do festival event planning professionally, or do sport marketing or work within sport in a broader sense within a government setting, or like there's a lot of options. Basically, like all the lectures are recorded and then put online. Like what's important to know is that everything is being done in a way so that it's flexible for you as a student, and then you can fit it into your everyday life next to your sport. But it is also very important to know that it is still a higher degree and what is termed as a full-time degree. So you would obviously still need to overall put in the same amount of hours as any other student who physically show up at the university. So it is going to require a lot of time, but the flexibility that's built into the program is that you can basically place that time in the everyday as you want. You can do the if you have training during the day, and then you can look at the lectures at night and read at night, and you can fit in the group work when it suits you and the other group members, and so on. And I know that since the university have a lot of experience with elite athletes, obviously they are also flexible regarding exams. If you have a game day on an exam day or something like that, like as long as you are committed to like commit the hours and the work that it takes to do a higher degree, right, and that you are proactive, meaning that you're always like looking ahead in the calendar and looking for any potential conflicts, then they will do everything they can to make it work for you. Perfect. Sounds good.
And if our members have any questions about the education, is it okay to get in touch with you directly?
Definitely, yeah.
Great. And you will find the information on the Swedish web page and the PDM web page, and also Spelarföreningen's web page. So I will provide you guys with that information.